Ever wondered how hackers break into databases and steal data? The answer might be SQLi or SQL injection. It's a pervasive method that hackers use to exploit databases, and it's very relevant in today's increasingly digital world. From your local coffee shop's loyalty program to multinational corporations, no database is immune. With the power of SQL injection, hackers can gain unauthorized access to data, manipulate it, and even delete it. So what's the secret behind SQLi? In this video, we will uncover the mystery behind SQL injection. SQLi, or SQL injection, is a code injection technique. Now you might be wondering, what does that mean exactly? Well, let's break it down. In the world of web applications, SQL, or structured query language, is used for managing and manipulating databases. It's like the language that web applications use to communicate with databases. But when this communication isn't secured properly, it can lead to what we call an SQL injection. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone, and suddenly a stranger jumps in and starts controlling the conversation. That's essentially what SQLi is. It's when a hacker manages to insert or inject their own SQL code into the conversation between the web application and the database. This malicious code can trick the database into revealing information it shouldn't, like sensitive user data. It's like the hacker is asking the database questions it's not supposed to answer, and the database, fooled by the malicious code, spills the beans. The potential damage from an SQLi attack is vast. It can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive data, like user passwords, credit card details, or personal information. In the hands of a hacker, this kind of information can be used for all sorts of malicious activities, from identity theft to financial fraud. But it doesn't stop there. SQLi can also allow a hacker to modify or delete data, potentially causing irreparable damage to a database. Imagine waking up one day to find your entire digital existence wiped out. That's the kind of nightmare scenario an SQLi attack can cause. So, SQLi is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It sneaks in, disguised as legitimate SQL code, and wreaks havoc on unsuspecting databases. It's a serious threat in the realm of cybersecurity, and one that everyone should be aware of. Therefore, understanding SQLi is crucial for anyone keen on cybersecurity. Now that we know what SQLi is, the question is, how does it work? To understand this, let's dive into the basics. SQLi, or SQL injection, is like a con artist tricking a city guard into opening the city gates. Here, the city is our database, the guard is the SQL database management system, and the con artist is the hacker. The con artist, or hacker, manipulates an SQL query, which is a command that the guard, or SQL database management system, uses to perform operations on the database. Usually these operations are legitimate, like adding, updating, or retrieving data. But when manipulated, these queries can cause havoc. Here's how it happens. A hacker inputs malicious code into an application that interacts with an SQL database. This could be a web form, a search bar, or even a URL. The application, not knowing any better, includes this malicious input in an SQL query it sends to the database. Think of it like this. The application tells the guard, "Hey, the mayor wants you to open the gates for this visitor." The guard doesn't question the message because it trusts the application. But what it doesn't know is that the visitor is a con artist with bad intentions. Once the manipulated SQL query reaches the SQL database system, it's executed. The system doesn't realize that it's been tricked into performing harmful actions. These might include revealing sensitive data, modifying data, or even deleting data. And just like that, the con artist is inside the city, wreaking havoc. SQLi is dangerous because it exploits the trust relationship between an application and its database. It's a simple yet powerful method that hackers use, which is why it's critical to understand and prevent it. And that, in a nutshell, is how SQLi works. So, we've talked about what SQLi is and how it works. But why should we care? Well, the answer is simple. The detrimental consequences of an SQLi attack are too grave to ignore. Imagine this. A hacker gains unauthorized access to your system, modifies or deletes crucial data, or even worse, steals sensitive customer information. The fallout is immediate and far-reaching. You suffer data breaches that can lead to significant financial loss. But it doesn't stop there. Your company's reputation, which you've painstakingly built over years, could be irreparably damaged. Customers lose trust in your ability to protect their data, and that trust is often much harder to rebuild than any system. The ripple effects of an SQLi attack can even extend to legal ramifications, with hefty fines and lawsuits for non-compliance with data protection regulations. In the world of cybersecurity, prevention is always better than cure. Preventing SQLi should be a top priority for any organization that values its data and reputation. We've learned quite a bit about SQLi today. Let's recap. SQLi, or SQL injection, is a technique where malicious SQL code is inserted into an entry field for execution, potentially leading to unauthorized access to database information. It's a critical cybersecurity concern, and understanding its mechanics is essential to prevent falling victim to it. These attacks work by exploiting vulnerabilities in an application's database query structure. If input fields are not properly sanitized or parameterized, hackers can manipulate SQL queries, making the system reveal sensitive information, modify data, or even execute commands. We've also discussed how SQLi can be devastating to an organization. The potential damage ranges from data theft, data manipulation, to complete system compromise. It's not just about losing bits and bytes, it's about losing trust, reputation, and potentially a significant amount of money. Preventing SQLi isn't just a matter of good coding practices, it's an ongoing process that requires vigilance, regular audits, and updates. Employing techniques like input validation, parameterized queries, and least privilege principle can go a long way in defending against these attacks. In conclusion, SQLi is a significant threat, but with the right knowledge and strategies, it can be mitigated. Cybersecurity isn't just a buzzword. It's a necessity in our increasingly connected world. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to cybersecurity. Stay informed, stay safe.